All right, and we're live. Everyone, how are you doing? How's Top Builder Season 2 going for each one of y'all? If y'all could just kind of introduce yourselves, tell the people what you're building, and just give us a little bit of who you guys are.
Yeah, I can start. All
Go for it.
right. Hey guys, I'm Mike over at Lightning Bounties. We're Bitcoin bug bounty platform over GitHub. Solve GitHub issues, get paid in native Bitcoin. I'm here with my co-founder Enrique Gamboa. Top Build has been extremely exciting, and a lot of progress has been made. Been very inspired by fellow builders in the program, learning a lot and just soaking everything in and just trying to build the best product that we possibly can and learn as much as possible and collaborate with as many of you guys as possible. So it's been quite an honor.
Hey, Mike, Enrique, and Will, feel free to jump in, but tell us a little bit about Lightning Bounties and because I see you guys also helping everybody in Top Builder as well too. So just give us like a quick little rundown of everything.
Yeah, and it's definitely mutual. We see extremely good advice, really good shout outs. Specifically, listen to Kiki's early days podcast. Thanks for the shout out. It's really cool. It got me thinking about AI agents and posting bounties and solving them. It's really exciting stuff. Keith. Very good collaboration with him. Very excited about his product. Anything that enhances Bitcoin security and just makes it safer for anyone to transact and just sleep better at night. It's just absolutely amazing. And so a little bit about Lightning Bounties, what we've been building. It's so we're kind of a newer company, less than a year old. We launched at the 2024 Pleb Lab Startup Day in Mexico City, which was absolutely awesome. So just trying to really just build out our website, trying to get a lot of the back-end functionality to start enhancing features, build it onto those things, and just trying to get really good product feedback from our users. What do they like? What don't they like? And just really from getting that user research, just trying to build a product that best serves our community of users. So if anyone is interested in trying out our app, feel free to go to app.lightningbounties.com. And always feel free to reach out to us at founders@lightningbounties.com with any feedback, or if you need any issues to be solved. We're more than happy to work with anybody who's interested.
Great stuff. Oliver, give us a little bit about who you are and what you're building and your experience with Top Builder Season 2.
Yeah, so GP is a returning company. We competed last year in Top Builder, and at that stage it was really just a rewards app. So we had structured Bitcoin education, and we integrated Jolts for Lightning rewards so that people who completed our courses would get free Bitcoin. So none of the stuff we're working on this year was in the competition. So we didn't make it to the finals, unfortunately. We were a semi-finals team, but obviously intending to go all the way this year. And we're building Pokemon Go for Bitcoin. So the short synopsis here would be there's this massive generation of Gen Z folks who I believe we need to capture and convert them to Bitcoiners if we're ever going to reach hyper-Bitcoinization. But these people, they don't read books, they won't listen to long-form podcasts, they won't consume content the way we did when we were being orange-pilled, and they have an 8-second attention span. So how do we capture that interest? And the way I think we can do that is actually by using another model, which is the most successful, or at least one of the most successful mobile games of all time, which is Pokemon Go. So yes, we're very excited about that. Come the finals, if we're there, we will be launching Beast Catch. So we've got I want to say 10 cities across America that we're going to put a digital Bitcoin Beast in, and so you can use your phone and you can catch a Bitcoin Beast 3D image. by answering a quiz question about Bitcoin. So we're trying to make Bitcoin education fun and gamify the whole experience for the next generation.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's been just being in the lab. It's been really interesting to see your whole journey through the AR stuff. That's fascinating. Cool, Keith.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Keith, give us a rundown on Branta and how your experience has been this season.
Yeah, cool. Good to see everybody. Experience has been great. Quick rundown on Branta is that we began Branta starting to just try and help out hyper Bitcoinization. And so with that, like our thesis is that we've already passed the store of value sort of phase in a cent to unit of account, but that we're still working on medium of exchange. And so kind of like the key part is Bitcoin has final settlement. And there's a couple challenges there that Brant is addressing, namely just man in the middle, phishing attacks, stuff like this. So what this translates to in our product is address verification. So before you go to pay somebody, you can verify the address is correct. Yeah, and it's great to be back from season 1.
Nice. All right, Tom, Inherit, you're the new guy. What's it been like for you?
Hey everybody. Yeah, so I'm Tom, building Inherit. Inherit is a self-custodial Bitcoin protection and recovery service. So the problem we're solving is if you're worried about a wrench attack happening to you, or if you're worried about losing your private key, or one day something unexpected happening to you, like you get hit by a bus, making sure that your Bitcoin gets passed on to where you want it to go and doesn't become lost or stolen. We do it through, we have 2 products. So a time safe, which just time locks your Bitcoin. And then we have a fail safe, 2 different type of implementations, which is a dead man switch, one using a decaying multisig and the other using not a multisig. Being a part has been awesome. Great to be it's an awesome community, makes me feel less lonely and supported, and the workshops have been great. So good to be here with y'all.
Awesome. Kiki, what's it like building on the cutting edge?
It definitely keeps me going. I'm washing the dishes thinking, how can I win Top Builder? I'm taking care of the pets, going on walks and thinking, how can I connect everything that we're doing together? And it just never stops. It's always present in my mind, and I hope it's like that for everyone.
Kiki, what's the best way to describe Cozy?
Cozy is a game where AI pets can chat, trade, and explore a fun world, I'd say.
Awesome. All right, Cal, it's your turn. Shopster. It's blowing up, dude. You're taking over Noster. I'm just kidding. Stay humble, Cal. But how's it going?
That'd be great if it was, but but it's doing well. Yeah, it's been good, especially because I was also in the last Top Builder. Same with Oliver and Keith. And yeah, since then it's just really only grown a lot. It's doubled in size and activity since then, maybe even tripled since then. So it's been picking up. Still nothing crazy, but yeah, obviously it's the marketplace segment of Nostr is still a little bit niche, and Nostr in general is still a little bit niche. So it's we're in the discovery phase of seeing where all the products and how things are being built out on the network. But it's been really cool to see people actually start small businesses, just listing their products on the site, and be able to just immediately start accepting Bitcoin without any setup. So yeah, it's been really great to see that the vision of free markets actually kind of proliferating, and now that people can run their own site without having to rely on the DNS and the Shopster.store domain, they don't have to worry about any of the, especially with that added, they don't have to worry about any extra censorship because they can just have their own version of the site there. Just really permissionless commerce there.
I saw the other day you guys had what Tesla vehicle? It was a Tesla truck.
Oh yeah, someone listed
that was on Shopster, dude. What was that about?
Yeah, so people have been listing I've seen apartments listed, Cybertrucks, motorhomes, a bunch of big stuff. Obviously, I'm sure the transaction probably won't be facilitated because the Lightning node doesn't have liquidity for that. But yeah, it's cool to see people listed that a bit more.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was cool. Andrew, give us quick rundown of Bitcoin events and everything that you've got going on and just your experience.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
It's a great privilege to be in such a great company. We actually jumped onto the Top Builder program basically in the last minute. So what we are doing is we're trying to reimagine the approach to how people navigate the fastly growing Bitcoin events industry within the Bitcoin space. So at the moment, people have to navigate between different platforms, some of them legacy ones like Meetup.com or Eventbrite. People are unhappy. People are leaving it. People are in search of different solutions. There are a couple of really good Bitcoin native ones, yes, which we see them like kind of a competitors, but we also seeking to establish good partnerships and to cooperate. Basically, yes, the idea is to create this one-stop hub where people will find all major conferences. They will find their discount codes there. People will be able to read interviews, to see videos with the top speakers. They can navigate, find smaller local meetups on the global level. So navigate between different countries, regions. Say if you're in the US, so you can pick up your state and go, or your city. Or if you're in Germany, you can go to, say, choose your land, state land, whatever. So it's, yeah, we are trying to do our best. We're trying to keep it as permissionless as possible, with a big focus on decentralized approach to the things, which means big focus on Lightning Network, on Nostr communications, and all that stuff.
Awesome. All right. So let's dive into some questions. I want y'all to ask each other questions. This is where it's going to be interesting. So is there, and feel free to go like however you want, like Hollywood Squares, but is there another team that's either in here or not in here that each one of y'all would want to see in the top 5? We'll start with Oliver first.
Keith, my man, Brant is such a cool project. Would love to see you in the top 5. Question for you is, what partnerships do you foresee in the future with Branta?
Dude, well, thank you. Look, I mean, let me just play the humble card. Like, I love Bitcoin. I think there's a lot of awesome Bitcoin companies. And when I started Branta, the idea was just to try something different, and it was either going to work or it wasn't going to work. Hopefully it's going to work. People seem to like it, and we're getting more interest in a lot of stuff that I can't really say yet on air. So gosh, I mean, yeah, we'd love to help any Bitcoin company. When there's risk of like a bad actor intercepting a payment at all, like we see that as a problem. So yeah, man, we're just here to help. That's all I have.
All right, pass the ball to Tom. Tom, same thing.
Calvadev, Shopster looks pretty sweet. I'd love to learn more about like the problem statement and like who your target user would be.
Yeah, well, thank you first off, but yeah, basically, I guess the general thesis is just like making it as easy as possible for anyone to receive money for anything that they're selling. And fiat makes that very difficult because you have to have a bank account, have all the KYC information. Some people just don't have documents to be able to open all this stuff. So that's like the primary thing is just people who want to be able to instantly receive money on the internet, or like just instantly receive money in any way. Because like since we use eCash, you could actually be disconnected and like not be online in order to receive the payment and still be able to claim it. And like I guess at the moment, the target audience is mainly people who are trying to just obviously they understand Bitcoin already. They just want to be able to very easily like sell their items for Bitcoin without having to like go through much effort. But as we like scale and grow, like I think like really it's just like anyone who wants to be able to sovereignly manage like sales of products and goods and services in general, just like on a broad basis. That's like probably pretty much everyone. Like even on Facebook Marketplace and stuff, if I'm just selling certain things, I don't have an account, so I can't sell anything on there. Like I just want to be able to just like not have to worry about any of the gatekeepers or anything. Just like list something, even if it's just one time, just something to get rid of, sell, earn some Bitcoin for it, and like move on. Yeah, just make it easy to buy and sell with that.
Great stuff. Kiki, you're next.
Hey y'all, I'd like to see lightning bounties go up there. Final 5.
Do you have a question you want to ask them?
Have they come across any regulation issues? Or what has been like the biggest hurdle in the last 6 weeks?
Who wants to take that? Is that an Enrique question or a Will question? I'm wondering.
Ooh, those are very good questions, and I appreciate that shout out, Kiki. Thank you. Yeah, for the regulation front, because we're operating in quite the gray area, where exploring these compliance plays at this moment. We just don't exactly know how the landscape will look 6 months to a year from now. I guess to answer your first question, like what is like some of the challenges that we've been exploring? I guess like one of them is really just building a company from the ground up, especially in a C Corp structure. So, none of us are, have masters in business or anything like that. We're builders, so it's just, we're basically learning all of that just as total newbies, so we're just taking it slow, just trying to absorb as much information, advice as possible. Timestamp has made setting up the crowdfunding profile very easy. That might be like one of the tools that you may want to think about looking into if you're interested in crowdfunding. I know that Jippy's already on there. Shopster's launching soon enough with us, as well as Lightning Bounties, and some other companies on there are already launched. So look out for our timestamp listing in the next month or so. And happy to answer any other questions.
Nice. All right, Mike.
I do have another question, actually,
go for it.
for everyone. I want to know how y'all got your first users. That sort of getting your message out there in the beginning.
Anybody want to take that?
My first user was a very old Bitcoin maximalist who was paranoid about everything and everyone.
Oliver?
Our first user, or at least first users, was thanks to Pleb Lab. So we did a launch event August of last year, and that's where we launched onto the App Store and to Google Play. So I know for a fact that conduit, that platform was provided by Pleb Lab. So a lot of the folks in this network was downloading Jippy. So really useful. Definitely recommend using whatever networks you have that's at your fingertips. That's the best way to start finding those initial really energized users. And one of them actually happened to be a Bitcoiner running a Bitcoin company who liked the product so much that they actually kept on pestering me with emails and just saying, here's feedback, here's exciting things, here's stuff. And we jumped on a call. So you definitely want to find those people, because that's like the cream of the crop.
Great stuff. Cal?
Yeah, I think for the first month or so, I don't think we had any actual users. No one was actually selling anything that was legitimate. It was all just test listings and stuff. But funnily enough, our first actual user that kind of shifted the usage of the site and people actually listing real stuff was another developer who actually is the lead developer for Amethyst, which is the main Nostr client on Android. And he liked it so much that he integrated new features to redeem eCash in it that hadn't worked with before. Also in the marketplace stuff. So that really took off everything. And I think the most important thing, I like this Mr. Beast framework thing that I've heard. It's a fail 100 times before you come to me and ask for tips. Because by the time you fail for the 100th time, you won't need my help anymore. Like you'll be able to do it on your own. So it's like just continually just like trying, just like anything, and just like throwing it out there and like expecting like that the first time that you launch, that's like no one's gonna use this thing. For a fact, I know no one's gonna use this thing. But if I keep making it better, just like putting stuff out there, just like constantly trying and failing, like new launches that get no usage, on the 100th time you'll actually have some traction. And like I think the important thing is just consistency and just like getting it out there, anything out there. Just like that's as soon as you put something out there, you're already ahead of like most people. So that's like the key there.
All right. Well, let's get back on the other question because I want to hear y'all's answers. Mike, who would you pick to see in the final round? Enrique, Will, you're all one team, but you can have individual answers.
Yeah, so I'm rooting for Cal. Same. I think Shopster is such a cool idea. So hopefully you can get that, man. That would be great. And I actually have a question for you. So I kind of maybe it's because I'm not that familiar with how Nostr completely works, but how are you integrating your platform into Nostr?
Yeah, so basically, I guess the like with most Nostr applications now, and like this is how I like to actually think of Nostr a bit more than like instead of targeting to get more people into Nostr, it'd be nicer to target the application developers rather than the actual users, because it's for especially on our side, like since we're running a permissionless marketplace, there's a lot of liability risk if we're like hosting all the content and running everything ourselves. So it actually like that was like probably the primary issue with Silk Road is the fact that other than like illegal stuff being listed, is that they like the Silk Road operators had the ability to like moderate the server and the content that was stored on there. So that means they were fully liable for everything that was listed on that on their servers. So anything that was illegal that they kept, they were actively facilitating the illegal transactions. But like on our case, since we don't have any like all Shopster is just like a front end server basically. It just allows you to view the Nostr network and be able to pay and like make it easy to like transact. So now like now with the relay based architecture, you can have like no backend services, and if you want to, you can. But like the nice thing is that like one thing that I thought of, for example, to kind of mitigate a lot of the illicit transactions is Shopster can run its own relay, and we'll actually like advertise and say like on our relay we'll censor everything, we'll comply with every regulation. We'll be the most censor. We'll censor as much as possible just to comply with the regulations. But because Nostr allows you to very easily switch relays and like export your data and move it, you can just use a different relay and you're complete, like the users are still have their full ability and full optionality to be able to use whatever they want, list whatever they want. And the company itself is still protected on a legal front because they're at least compliant to the law to the best of their ability. So like the swappable server architecture is like what's the most powerful thing. And like a lot of builders can just benefit from that because they themselves don't have to rely on operating the server costs, like having to run that stuff. So it's like that's why I like encourage a lot of people just like even if like they don't have like a use case for the social aspects of Nostr, it's like a good infrastructure to be able to like build an application on top of it. It's like it adds a little bit of interesting things you can play around with and do.
Nice
Awesome.
answer. Will, what about you?
Good answer, and nice Ross call out. I'd like to see Ross at Top Builder. Can we make that happen, Car?
Hey,
Maybe.
trying over here.
He's been kind of close to the ground. I don't think he's popped up yet.
I think
has
he'll
he?
build something for
On
sure. There's
anything.
chatter
He'll build
about it
something.
already. At least back channel stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think I'm terrible at these questions. I feel like they're kind of tricks. One of the things I was really excited to see was Red Velvet build out Polymarket on Bitcoin chain, and I know he had to kind of ship it in for the season. So still looking forward to that because I think Polymarket's one of my favorite products in the ecosystem, and I'd love to see it on Bitcoin first. So I'd love to see all of you guys, because I know everyone on this call has like been really active and has probably collaborated with us. So I'd love to see you guys all up there. I do have a question for Tom about precedents for these kind of, I'm not sure what you call them, lifestyle wallets or something, or who's using these. Maybe it's not even known, but like kind of in the ecosystem, who kind of has something more than a hardware wallet?
Yeah, so it's for people who have a hardware wallet and self-custody, and you can think of it as just like an add-on to your existing hardware wallet. And what you do is you can create a time safe and or a fail safe. So if your keys, your hardware wallet, and got burned in a fire, you would be able to retrieve that Bitcoin at a different address. It's a dead man switch, and a time safe just locks that Bitcoin up and protects you from things like wrench attacks, and no one can touch it, including yourself, which could also be valuable for if you want to just hodl. You know, if Bitcoin gets to 2 million a coin, we all say never sell your Bitcoin. Like, make that the permanent way is probably to make it to the next future happenings as if it's time locked, so you don't have to, so you're not to get butterfingers.
Great stuff. Keith, who do you got?
Yeah, it's tough. So I'd almost give 3 answers. I have a lot of business ideas for Club Bink and for Lightning Bounties. I know Juan's not on the call, but Club Bink is really, really cool. This idea of like just short trickle over the counter. Love that. Lightning Bounties, I have a ton of ideas too. I think we've kind of talked about them, like private repos, open bug bounties. But I think my number 1 would be Shopster. I just think it's so interesting. The whole concept. It's just like raw freedom, like unleashed. And actually, I was wondering, with Shopster's approach on compliance and like liability, but I think just front running that. Yeah, because that's brutal. That's brutal. Like, we all want like total freedom unleashed, but not having liability is really cool. So I think just letting the server and the stack and the DNS portable is just like a one shot. So great work.
All right, Cal. Who do you got?
I would say also I have like several answers. Like, my top 3 would probably be like Lightning Bounties, because I love what they're doing with like furthering. I think there's a good like note on Nostr by the guy who made Donis, Will, who was like talking about like, oh, I thought we'd have so many contributions on the Dominus repo just because we're open source and everything. People would fix their bugs, but we've noticed that we only get 1 or 2 contributions a year. So it's like, okay, like having a way to like actually encourage people to more actively actually contribute to the projects that they use and like fix bugs, do things on their own, especially if they know how to code, is like awesome. Also, like Tom's stuff with Inherit is really cool, especially because like some of the issues. I actually have a question for you as well. Like, how are you dealing with, I guess, the KYC aspect kind of side of all the like inheritance stuff? Because like that's like probably my biggest issue with like River and Unchained, like the companies that offer a bit of like the shared custody solutions. Like, how are you dealing with that? Because like once that gets like kind of maybe not like completely wiped away, but like kind of like, I guess like you can have it in parallel, like with the no KYC and KYC systems. Like, once that gets done away with, like then like that like changes the game, because like then you don't have any risk of like kind of the government coming and like trying to seize all this stuff and like do a bunch of things like that.
Yeah, it's entirely self-custodial. You know, you download the app, you can run it on Linux Tails or wherever. You just define what public keys you want to and the amount of Bitcoin that they should receive. And, no KYC needed. We don't ever facilitate anything. This is all natively done on Bitcoin via Miniscript. And we also, depending on which product we're talking about, but one cool thing we do is use encryption and some decentralized databases that only your beneficiaries can, pull down the file and broadcast it if you miss your check-in for a dead man switch and things like that.
Nice. Did you have another one, Cal? You said there was 3.
Oh yeah. Then of course Branta, because I love the ability to actually verify payments, and like, because especially like if you're thinking of it from like the eCash perspective, like if I'm just generating invoices, especially from like eCashments that I do not know, like I got to make sure I'm actually getting proper invoices. I'm not just getting spoofed. I'm not like having a bunch of payments like go somewhere that I don't actually expect them to be. So like we need some resiliency in the Lightning Network, a little bit more verification on the payment side, because obviously like Bitcoin, we have the blockchain, we have proof of work, we have everything to like secure everything, but now Lightning needs that little bit extra layer of like validity on that level.
Nice. Andrew, who do you got?
Well, I would probably start with the point that talking about the Bitcoin adoption on the whole, the mass adoption, how to get more people into the space. And I think that gamification aspects are play an important role in this. So that's why I believe that projects like Gozi, which is Kiki doing, they are very important. They definitely something that needs to be paid more attention to. Overall, I would say my top three within this group would be Shopster. Yes, I really appreciate what you're doing. I always loved dealing with the gray zones, actually, myself, and I would be very keen to see you progressing and doing some proper job here. Tom, Inherit, yes, absolutely. I love what you're doing. It's an important thing. Shared custody, yeah, sounds like a good idea. And Lightning Bounties.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is it like for you, Oliver and Kiki, to be the only ones doing like stuff that's like on the like AR or like AI or like agent stuff? Do y'all feel different, or do y'all feel like you guys are just like breaking through just what people think of when they think of Bitcoin apps and Bitcoin innovation?
Yeah, it's hard, I think, because the Bitcoin primarily was for the cypherpunks, the technical folks, and the people who get what crypto actually is, like where the value is, freedom money. But I think to reach the next generation, we need to try and make the proposition a lot more manageable to understand. We're still at the phase where there's lots of glitz and glamour around Bitcoin tools, like behind the scenes, back-end Bitcoin tools that either, build upon Lightning or make some aspects of Bitcoin better, dial in the specifics. So I think, I personally think that consumer apps are really, really important. Retail apps specifically, how do we onboard people to Bitcoin? That's probably my biggest mission and why I'm alive today, to figure that out. So I'm happy to bear the pressures of that, because it is hard to try to build a Bitcoin game, a consumer app, an exchange, whatever you want to call these on-ramps. And I'm happy to do that and to get beaten down by all of these different tools as well, or by Apple or Google, whatever. Like, it's part of the fun.
Yeah. Kiki, what about you? Same question.
Yeah, Oliver and I both have the unique situation where we have to figure out what's going to capture attention and who we want to call in first. I think it's important to recognize that a lot of people have built things that make an idea like ours possible. So we're definitely standing on the shoulders of giants, and there might be quite a few different technical issues we have to take on ourselves. But overall, this wouldn't be possible without builders that have come before us. So that's what I'm excited about, is being able to bring it all together and see what comes out of it.
I will say, like, when we started Pleb Lab in 2021, people didn't think we should exist. Like, there was a lot of people that had like question marks. So I will say something about building towards that future, because what will happen is what we saw happen for us is, like, we started in 21. No one really knew what we were doing, but we had this vision of like creating a community accelerator and working towards that. And now you look anywhere and everybody has their own version of it. So it's something about having a vision early and then sticking with it. And so I hats off to y'all, because like it's really tough to do that and have conviction and sticking to it, because everybody will tell you to quit. And they say, so great stuff. The other thing I was going to mention was, yeah, go ahead, Cal.
Yeah, I just wanted to say too, because like it's also like it's really cool to see you guys work, because especially because you're more like on like the consumer like game side, and like people at the moment are just still like kind of doubting, I guess the like they don't realize how like big the gaming industry is and like how much opportunity there is in that front, especially for onboarding new people. Like it's so hard. Like everyone wants to focus on like a new wallet or a new like infrastructure app or new normal development. Like that's important. Like we need all that stuff. But then like we just leave behind all the people who could like benefit from like just onboarding, just getting like a few dollars worth of Bitcoin, just starting to understand, just starting to follow down the rabbit hole. It's like it's really awesome what you guys are doing.
Yeah, great stuff. Okay, I think I asked all my questions, so if you guys feel free to ask each other questions. I'm all out of questions.
So I guess on Shopster, if Amazon integrated like lets you buy things with Bitcoin and sell things with Bitcoin, I guess who do you think would be left in the Shopster world?
Well, yeah, I guess at that point, probably what would be left in the Shopster world is a bit more of like reclusive merchants, like people who are like not so, or just like I guess freedom oriented individuals. I guess is like a more general term without like naming out something like illegal thing happening, but just like people who want to still be able to be in control of their network or like the products that are like actually listed within them, because obviously in Amazon like your account can get taken down. Like also you might not want to deal with the KYC stuff, so like Shopster obviously provides an ability to do that. And like another way that I like to see like the buying and selling on Shopster is like it's another, instead of an on ramp, it's an earn ramp. Like it's a way for like someone to like actually get their first Bitcoin without ever interacting with the fiat system at all, and it could purely non KYC. So it's like a really cool way of like onboarding new people like that. So yeah. And I'm actually working on a tool to be able to import your Amazon products onto Nostr. So like you'll be able to like do all that stuff. So like hopefully like it'll take some time to like get all like the API shit like correct, but like that's in the process.
How about fees? Like Amazon takes like a lot of fees, pisses off a lot of merchants.
Yeah, and I think that's like the biggest like opportunity for most people in the Bitcoin space. Is just like undercutting like all the take rate, because the valuable thing that we have in that these legacy tech companies have is like the network effect, because everything's captured. They can take as much as they want. That's why Facebook takes like 99% of all revenue. Amazon I think is like takes like 20 or something like that. If I remember correctly, I think eBay is like the lowest, and it takes 15% of every transaction, which is crazy to me. And like, yeah, like that's one of the easiest ways to just like kind of advertise against them. It's like, hey, because on Shopster at the moment, everything's like a donation technically, because that also like removes a little bit of liability, because we're not like explicitly earning money from like sales of like illicit products or something like that. Like, and the good thing is like since it's been early days, like no one's listed anything like illegal. It's just all been like soaked and like crocheted dolls and stuff like that. So it's been like nice and wholesome for now. But like since they can like manually donate, like they can set their donation rate, and that's another thing that like, we have the opportunity to do, like because of credit card fees and all that stuff. Like those companies are kind of like pushed into kind of charging higher and higher just to like drive their profits. But now that we have like low fee micropayments, we actually can like it's technically feasible to like drive down the take rates that we're taking, that like all the products are taking, and we can allow for like adjustments, like to either a merchant just doesn't want to donate anything, or they want to donate 50% or 100% or something like that. So like that's what's set up at the moment. It's all like adjustable donation rates. We have a default of like 2.1% because of 21, right? But yeah, some merchants like have increased it, some have like dropped it to 0. So it's just like on a case by case basis. And yeah, like that's like one of the biggest things for like most products. We can undercut everyone.
A question for the whole group, which is, and I'll give an answer too, which is like, what has stayed with you from the workshops? Because obviously as part of Top Builder, we've had a lot of great workshops. Learning about this field can be pretty difficult, both meeting the people and learning some of the applicable skills. So we've obviously got a bunch of workshops over the past few weeks. I think two that stayed with me were Santos talking about the user journey and put in how to build that into your product. And I think what I was thinking at the time is just realizing like it's a lot out of scope for me, but realizing it's super critical, and that's like something to start working on after the competition is getting everything on the site ready to report up to analytics. Enrique, I know, is working on a lot of stuff on analytics right now, so those kind of reporting should be ready when server side, client side start phoning in as well. And I think one other I learned was from our own Dr. Bitcoin here is you're saying, you know, when you go to raise, you're going to have a lot of disappointment and failure, and to remember your why you started this thing, why you've been going through it all. So make sure that kind of keep that as a mantra. So those are two of the many things I took away from some of the workshops. I'll kick it out to the room for anything that stayed with you.
I mean, I can add. Yeah, like all these workshops have been extremely helpful and full of a lot of great useful information. A lot of information that kind of went against my initial thinking, which is great because that's how you learn. One that really stuck out was a lot of the business development ones. Santos' presentation also comes to mind, where it's like, hey, just go out there and just introduce yourself. People, and I think you said it best, Car, actually, you know, people in the space want to collaborate, even though we might have competitors within the space. We're actually, at the end of the day, we're all part of a bigger team. And, you know, just hearing that, you know, really just like changed my thinking and just made me a lot more, I guess, like motivated to go out and just try to reach out to people, you know, because that's at the end of the day, the worst you're going to get is just left on red or just a no. But, you know, I like hearing that, you know, we're all kind of building on the same team, and we all kind of just have the same goals and same value. And I think that's what really brings a community together. So, yeah.
I really enjoyed.
You go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. I really enjoyed timestamps, sort of clarification of what we should consider when we want to pitch. And the UX for the streets was a great reminder of how fun playtesting can be.
You mentioned pitch. Yeah. That's great. Mine was pitching as well. So shout out to Moritz from Aldi and also Ted, who's out of the lab, because the workshops mentioning the fundraising and the pitch deck were really important. I have probably gone through 20 different versions of the pitch deck, if not more, and it's just it's just like there's a special place in hell where you're just revising the same slides again and again for infinity. So yeah, it's really helpful to have people who have raised money, who know what a good pitch deck looks like, and to give you advice, because it's a struggle that everyone, I'm sure, is very familiar with.
Yeah, I second that. I really like the question from Will, actually. My experience has been that basically every workshop has been solid, no fluff. And my interesting take has been that last year going through this, a lot of the info was new or like it didn't really click or apply. But the second time around, after having, you know, gone around the sun and iterated so much, a lot of it just connects when you look backwards. So now all the workshops are like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's been cool from our side.
Yeah, I think that's where like I kind of screwed up this year. I think it was like thinking like that, Keith. Like, oh, like maybe they won't find it useful now, but like they're gonna need to go back and look at this. Yeah, at some point.
Yeah. Also, Car, you don't have to answer this, but I wanted to ask you, what about this like makes you nervous or stressed? Because this is a lot to handle.
You guys not living up to the standard that we have at Pleb Lab? Like that's literally what it is. If you guys all like, if I send you the top 5 and you like lay a fucking egg, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Like I'm not even joking right now. I'm gonna be very upset. So like fucking bring it. Like seriously. Like we don't have Pleb Lab as a name just for mediocre shit. And I mean that seriously. Like you guys need to be bringing it for the top 5 if you make the top 5. And if you don't want to do that, that's cool. But there's other places for that mediocrity, not at Pleb Lab. So just like make sure to effing bring it. Yeah.
Let's go.
That's how I think through things, and that's how I talk to the people in the lab, and like that's why we have a standard here. And if it's like there's other places like the other great one is like me and Jim say is like there's places, you know, you can go to the Navy, you can go to the Army, you can go to all these other places, but if you want to go to the Navy SEALs, like that's Pleb Lab. Like we make that type of quality companies, things, like projects. Like we've had some great ones come through here, and we expect that. And if it's not at that level, then like go somewhere else. But I love you guys, by the way. I think all of y'all, I've talked to almost everybody here. And so I think we had a conversation today, Tom, Oliver, Kiki. So I know y'all, even the Lightning Bounties team, I think too, as well. And Keith as well too. I think the only person I haven't talked to is Andrew and Assign yet. But other than that, I feel like you guys are all, and Cal too. I haven't talked to you yet, Cal, but like, I feel like all of y'all have already given me your vision for what you want to bring to the final round, and I'm on board with it. So we're going to make the decision next Friday, and we'll announce the top 5 on Saturday. Just like focus on getting it there to where we talked about. We're going to have a meeting of the minds with all the mentors. So all the mentors that we have at the topbuilder.dev website, we'll schedule a call and we'll go through it all. And last year was heartbreaking because like some of the teams that I wanted in there didn't get a chance to get in there, and we just got outvoted. So this year, what I want to do maybe a little bit different is give each one of y'all feedback afterwards for the teams that don't make it. But I think overall, some of you had just outright just like impressed me. Like with this year, I'm just like thoroughly shocked. Tom, you being one of them, Kiki, you being one of them. Oliver, I think you're like one of that guy that just like keeps getting punched in the face and just like more, please more. I can take it. Cal, you're just, I don't know.
I don't know if I could take it anymore, Carl. I'm on the ground and the kicks keep coming. It's like really fucking painful.
I know, but just imagine when you get to base camp and then you're not going to have these worries anymore. I saw the same thing happen with Francisco. It was the same thing. This is normal. Like that's all normal. Pain is a tolerance and just how much you can take, right? Cal, I just like really shocked, like just how much more astute you are as far as a builder in the ecosystem. And now a lot of people are looking up to you as that guy. Same thing with you, Keith. Like you're somebody also who is that guy now. And then the Lightning Bounties team, you guys are just too much fun, man. Like everybody likes you guys. So it's been good to get you guys because you guys are just like a total new class. And I just love the fact that you guys are willing to help everybody, irregardless if it's going to help Lightning Bounties. And that's the kind of the people that we look for at Pleb Lab. And yeah, Kiki, I think you've just surprising me. I'm just like, am shocked how far you've come just in such a short time. And I don't know how you pull it off with taking care of your family and everybody else. So that's just more impressive. Andrew, I honestly thought that you were just going to maybe not go all the way with it. But the fact that you've implemented some really cool things at Bitcoin events is like really, really cool. Onions, man, what's up, man? I think you guys are doing really well too as well, as far as like building out there. And so like I think overall we've had a really good class this year, and I'm just really impressed with you guys and ladies. And I think overall I just can't wait for startup day. I can't wait to give somebody 15K Bitcoin so they can go and do whatever they want with it. So I think we'll end it there. But do you guys have any other questions for each other or any last statements you want to say if somebody's watching at home or watching this afterwards?
You did good work today, everyone watching this and participating. Just want to let you know.
Where can they find more
Thanks,
Kiki? And show y'all's websites and stuff like that. No one wants to show anything? No one wants new users? Seriously? Come on. Oh, there you go. Ooh. All right, we're gonna end it there. Oh wait, look, there he goes, Chippy. Can everybody show their app all at once? Is that a thing? Can y'all do that? All right, share it like on the screen.
Maybe in a week.
Tom, in a week. Okay. Cool. Pull it up all at once. See if you guys can. Yeah. You got yours, Cal? It's mobile, right? Andrew? Mike? Enrique? Oh, boss. Kiki, show yours. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's an amazing
I
picture.
can't start a server right now.
Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we'll end it there. If you guys have any questions, hit me up in chat, and then we'll be back tomorrow for that legal workshop, which I think is really important. You can ask him anything. He's somebody that we use here at Plub Lab internally, so he's a really great guy to ask. He's just good. So yeah. Oh, and Phil also with PR stuff. All right, bye y'all.
Happy Valentine's.